today I will show you how to make an awesome sideways knitted shopping bag like this one. It's a very simple tutorial, but we will make an eye-catching bag. First, make sure the rugging handle is in its lowest position. Now raise 120 needles on the front bed of the machine, 60 to the left and 60 to the right side of the center. Place the edge springs on the last working ones. Now raise 120 needles on the back bed of the machine. You have to observe the needle rule. Place the edge springs on the last working needles. It should look like this. Set both locks to N and the stitch size to 4.5. Insert the orange strippers and take a contrasting color waste yarn. Rotate the racking handle one full turn anti-clockwise and knit one row. Then rotate the racking handle one full turn clockwise and knit one row to finish the cast on. Clear the row counter and knit 10 rows with the waste yarn. Clear the row counter, then set the stitch size to 3 on the front lock and to 5 on the back lock. Remove the black strippers and insert the orange ones. Start from left to right, leave the first 6 needles in working position, then slightly raise the next 20 needles. Then leave the next 6 needles in working position and slightly raise the following 20 needles. Repeat until the needles are arranged like in the video. Rotate the racking handle to its upper position and use the double eye bodkin tool to transfer the stitches from the raised needles to the opposite needles on the back bed. Use the orange ruler and put all empty needles on the front bed in resting position. Return the racking handle to its lowest position and knit 10 rows with the waste yarn. Clear the row counter and take the main yarn. Now knit 2 rows. Don't reset the row counter. Set the front lock to GX and knit 8 rows. These are the 10 rows that you have to repeat to knit this beautiful pattern. Let's do it again. First, move the NX lever to N and knit 2 rows. Now move the lever to X and knit 8 rows. When knitting the first few repetitions, pay attention to the yarn between the beds of the machine and attach weights if needed. You have to repeat these steps until the row counter is at 680 rows. Now clear the row counter and set the front lock to N. Move the lock to the color changer and take the waste yarn again. Now knit 20 rows. Clear the row counter and leave the eyelet in the color changer and drop the knitting. It should look like this. The wide band will be on the top of the back and the narrow one will be on the bottom. First, we have to sew the sides and remove the waste yarn. Now it should look like this. As you can see, my seams look great on the outside, but I could not sew them beautifully on the inside. The seams on the inside won't be visible, so that's not important. I cut 2 pieces of fabric the same size as the back and I sewed them together. Now I will cut 2 handles of this polyester webbing 57 cm each. Now measure the lining and mark the center. Split the width of the lining in 4 and make the markings for the handles. Now lay the ends of the handles over the marks and pin them in place. If you are using polyester webbing, use a lighter to melt the edges. Also, you can fold the edge inwards. Then pin the other handle the same way. Please don't forget to support me by liking the video and subscribing to my channel. Make sure the handles are straight. It should look like this. Now you have to sew the handles to the lining. Sew a box along the edge of the webbing, then make the letter X inside the box as shown in the video. Tell me if you want to make a video about knitting a matching skirt. It should look like this. Sew all the other ends of the webbing the same way and insert the lining inside the back. Align the seams on the lining with the sides of the back, then pin them together. Then stretch the other sides and pin them the same way. Now you can sew the lining to the back. And this is the final result. We just made a medium-sized shopping bag. You may also sew several flowers to match the handle. That's all for today. Have a nice day and see you in my next video.